Hi guys, my name is Professor Sarah Spikeston and I teach speech here at North Central Texas College, but I also teach government and philosophy whenever and wherever I'm needed. So the purpose of this particular video assignment is to try to recreate the classroom environment as much as possible. In online classes, we don't typically get to see each other face to face, and students have a higher satisfaction rate in courses when they're able to put a name with a face and not just see a bunch of names. We learn a little bit more about one another this way, and really on my end, the reason why we're doing a video discussion instead of a normal discussion board is because I want to make sure that you guys have the technical requirements in order to post videos for your speeches later. Before we get too deep into the course, before you can't drop the course or withdraw from the course, I want to make sure that you at least have the technical capability to record and also post. And really, because many of you are accessing this course from a variety of devices, from hundreds of different potential cell phone styles and programs, whether you're Android or Apple, whether you're accessing it from a laptop with or without a webcam, I really just need to make sure that you have whatever you have, that it works and that you're able to record with a good quality video with proper audio quality and all that jazz. So all I'm trying to get from this video is that you answer the questions that are written into this assignment so that we get to know a little bit more about you, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about me. But I want you to know that this is a completely casual video. I don't want you taking a million takes of this video trying to get it perfect, because that's not the goal. The goal is for you to engage in a casual conversation in casual clothes. No need to dress up for this. No need to get a head to toe recording so that I can critique you, because that's not the purpose. I'm not here to critique this video. My goal is to make sure that, yep, you have the technical requirements in order to record and upload. So just make sure that you look at this with low pressure. Not going to be grading your content, not going to be critiquing the way that you talk. I want you to try to just get comfortable with the camera and really just kind of do it like how you would in a class. You get called on in class and you just talk. It may not be perfect, and that's all I'm looking for here. Don't take this video 3, 4, 5 times trying to get it just right. So follow the written instructions, be super casual, make sure you're dressed appropriately, but that doesn't mean that you have to be in a 3-piece suit or anything, or even in business casual. Be in casual clothes, but be dressed, because other people are going to see this. And then figure out how you need to upload on your type of device that you're accessing it from. If you're accessing it from a phone, you need to make sure you have the Canvas app downloaded so that you can then upload. If you're using it from a laptop, you need to make sure that your webcam works, your microphone works, play it back to make sure that you can hear it. If your video is too long, upload it to YouTube and then plop the link into the discussion board. If your video is shorter, Canvas might be able to just upload it directly and then just add the Add Media button in this particular discussion board and then locate your file on your computer and upload it that way. That would work too. But if you're having troubles figuring out how to upload once you've recorded and you can't figure it out, shoot me a message on Remind and I'd be happy to figure out troubleshoot with your particular phone, laptop, etc. Everything's a little bit different, but we can figure it out with some good old-fashioned Google. All right, so let's talk about me for a second. So you know that I teach speech here. I also teach government and philosophy, but outside of the academic world, I've been teaching I've been teaching online for 10 years, but I've also been teaching face-to-face since 2012, so 8 years. Face-to-face since 2012 and online since 2010. And then outside of that, I've developed a life that I think is meaningful to me. I currently live in Sanger on a 10-acre farm. I run co-pilot farms. We're just getting that started. We're getting some sheep in, and we're going to be doing some fiber for retired sheep from the industry. They're from breeding programs that are no longer going to be bred. And we're really excited about that because animals are a huge part of our life. I also run co-pilot animal rescue, and I've run co-pilot animal rescue since 2012, so about 8 years at this point in time. And co-pilot animal rescue focuses mostly on dogs. We've done cats in the past, but we don't do cats anymore. We have some rabbits. We do a lot of chickens and farm animals and the like, and they all live here on the farm with us. And a lot of my extra time, if I'm not in class, if I'm not going to be, doing classes with you and doing Canvas conferences to kind of make up for some of that lost class time, then usually I'm here at the farm either feeding the cow or messing with the chickens and doing whatever's needed, cleaning kennels. That's always fun. But that's what I do outside. I'm also a mother to a 7-year-old who's a first grader this year, and she is the love of my life. She's absolute sweetheart, and we focus on a lot of homeschooling. Even though she does go to public school, she's in a bilingual program at her public school, and we'll continue that program. But when you have 2 educators for parents, when you come home from school, there's still school. And so even though she is home for the semester because of coronavirus, she not only has schoolwork from her teacher, but she also has a bunch of educational fun apps that she does as well. To put things in perspective, I use the Prodigy Math app for my daughter, and it has all these fun battles and whatnot. Over winter break, so this was before coronavirus, over winter break she did over 600 questions on her own, not being dictated to. And so I think that when you make learning fun as well as educational, you can actually encourage students to do more than just the bare minimum. And my hope for you in this class is that you don't just view it as, let's do the bare minimum, get through it, get done, but rather that you find something meaningful here, that you're able to use your voice and your platform to encourage others to do more with their lives, to become better people, to become better citizens, to become better residents, to become better fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, whatever it is. And I do that outside of my class time too. In class, you would have gotten a lot of these little mini lectures that are just life lectures. They're not even related to the coursework necessarily, other than they show you how advocacy works. I do a lot of advocacy outside of the classroom when it comes to the Facebook pages that I run. I've been involved in adminning Facebook groups and pages for quite a while now, and right now I focus on the Vegan Professor, which is my own page. It's mostly a food blog. It's to help people transition into plant-based lifestyles, but then I also run the Spikeston family page, which kind of encompasses a much broader view. It encompasses everything from cloth diapering and how to get involved, how to do more, foster parenting. My husband and I are towards the end of the start of our journey in fostering. My grandmother was a foster parent, my great-grandmother was a foster parent, and now it's my husband's and my time to be foster parents as well. So we're working on that, and so our posts quite frequently focus on that. But they also focus on educated, evidence-based parenting. We're always looking at ways to improve our parenting, to improve our kids' education. And so it's really important to us to always stay on top of what science is telling us, psychology is telling us about the way that the brain develops, not just in childhood, but even as an adult. You'll see a lot of mental health information that gets posted on that page too. I have a mental illness. I have generalized anxiety disorder. It's one of those, we call it low-level illnesses, but in reality, most of us are suffering from some sort of mental disorder or childhood trauma, and it's important to not shove that away and ignore it like it never happened. It's important to focus on where I am, where it's coming from, and what steps I can take to move forward. So I do a lot of Facebook advocacy in those regards. There's lots more topics I can go on for hours in terms of what I'm about and what I do. But what I hope that you learn as a result of this class is that I try to be a compassionate individual, and also especially just given the circumstances with online classes and the way that the semester goes, and try to be compassionate in my timelines and in my communication with students as well. I try to use voice messages on Remind wherever possible when I'm replying back to an individual student, so that you can kind of hear the tone of voice that comes behind it, because that tone of voice is super important. We want to make sure that you are able to hear not just the words, but the intent and the compassion behind that voice, so that you don't just read something and you read it the wrong way and you read it with a lot more of an authoritarian, aggressive tone than what was actually intended. My advice for you during the semester is to reach out early and often. If you are having troubles in the course, please check in with me. If you're not checking in with me, I don't know what's wrong. If you don't respond back to messages that I send out, I can't know what's going on in your life, and it's hard for me to make accommodations for you if I don't even know what's going on. And if you wait until the last week of the semester, there's not much I can do at that point. So please, message me early and often. I understand that there are things going on right now that may make it difficult for you to complete an online course. For example, if your children are suddenly home for the semester and you've got no childcare, that may create, some more difficulties. I don't care if you pop onto Canvas conferences or into video chats and you've got kids in the background, that's fine. We'll mute your camera that way, or your voice at least on the camera, so that you can still participate, you can still get what you need, and it's better to be 50% paying attention than not being present at all. In face-to-face classes, I typically allow students to bring their kids to class. I've held so many babies and I love it. I lecture with a lot of babies when students have childcare difficulties. So I'm not the kind of professor that is necessarily like a super hard line. If you don't do it my way, it's the highway type deal. But I do need you to engage in some self-discipline. One of my grandmother's favorite phrases was, if I practice self-discipline, I won't be disciplined. And what she meant by that was, if we're able to manage ourselves, we won't need other people telling us what to do. So I have deadlines put into the modules. You can take a look. I highly encourage you, put those dates in your planner. Do not wait until the last day in order to try to start something, because what usually happens is if you wait until the last day, something happened on that day, which then prevents you from meeting that deadline. So do try to get those things done early, and you should be in a much better place in this course. It is an 8-week course for this particular one, so it's gonna take a little bit longer. If you're in one of my 16-week courses, you've got a little bit more time, a little bit more breathing room. 8-week courses, 5-week courses over summer, they're gonna be much, much shorter. And so you have to be a little more cognizant of your deadlines, because I can't always manage each one of you individually. I don't wanna be that helicopter professor that is hovering over you like, have you done this yet? Have you done this yet? Practice some self-discipline, y'all. It's a very great skill to learn for life in general. And if I can teach it to you in this particular course, that would be fantastic. If we can move just one step closer to being self-managed individuals, I will have done my job. If you have any questions over the course of this course, simply send me a message on Remind and I will get you taken care of. Have a great day, y'all.